What's going on, guys? I'm Rockley AC here. I'm here with the third place winner here at Anime Central here in Rosemont, Illinois. We got Boujack in the house, ladies and gentlemen. I know, don't turn that switch because it's actually Boujack. He finished third place. Alden, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So Alden, what made you want to play this amazing deck today?
Okay, I'm taking this off.
Totally fine.
Okay. Like 3 months ago, it must have been. When did Destruction Kings come out?
Probably about 2 months ago.
Okay, 2 months ago. I played this game for the first time. I was like, you know what? I wanted to do something on a weekend. My locals was doing the Destruction Kings pre-release, and I decided to go do it. I guess I'll give a plug to them because they're one of the only ones in the Wisconsin area that does it anymore.
Okay, awesome. Which
Evolution
store?
Games.
Oh, Evo Games. Awesome, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I had a blast. I actually played Boujack in the pre-release, but that was because Boujack was the only cards I had.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think of a cosplay idea, and it's like,
nice.
I barely knew Boujack. I haven't seen the movie beforehand.
Okay.
I liked how the deck played in the pre-release, but I agreed with the fact that the leader's garbage.
Okay.
But it's like, I wonder if anybody has done Boujack Horsemen, as in the Netflix show Boujack Horsemen on Boujack. And I looked it up, and apparently somebody told me it was Kaiser Neko from Team 4 Star uploaded the like fan art of it.
Right.
And it's like, I need to cosplay this.
Right.
So I went from not wanting a budget in this game at all to basically single ordering the whole deck. And then
wasn't even that expensive, right? Yeah.
Oh,
besides like the Boujack Supers. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean that nothing was over like $4 or $5. I don't think anything is still over $4 or $5 unless you want to soup it out. But I mostly had that idea without. I was going to do this regardless, going to some super thing before the other person on the Facebook group that did it.
Peter Katani?
Yeah, his cosplay
Nice.
is good too.
Shout outs to Peter.
But yeah, we made the mask, got a wig.
Yes.
Made all the little accoutrements. Made our homemade PAX paint that worked way too well.
That's awesome.
And I went into it.
Cool, cool. Real quick before we go with the deck profile,
Sure.
How was your games? Like, how did the round by run?
Okay. So game 1 was against Super Shenron, but it was Vegito Super Shenron. I don't know if that's rogue or not. Like
Seemed
I said,
like
I
like
started
a rogue
with Destruction King, so I'm not sure all the decks that are meta.
Okay.
But, you know, it was still pretty fast. It had the same kind of things. You play Bulmas to get Bulmas, and then instead of the other cards like Bulma, they ran the Vegeta Goku that goes into the Vegito.
Okay,
so that instead of just constantly doing that, they keep getting the Vegetos out.
Okay.
And after I got 8-drop Boujack out, it was basically just a war of attrition, and I ended up winning it because I nuked his field rather than attacking his lead until he had literally no cards.
Oh, man.
And then he was just one card for one carding me, and I got there in the end.
Awesome. So you pulled out round 1. Round 2?
Round 2...
Was that against Vanilla, or...?
Was that? Yeah, round 2 was Kid Ku.
Okay.
Blue, yellow Kid Ku.
Okay.
That one, I ended up just comboing out, and he didn't have it.
Okay.
We went to time. He was at, I think, 1 life. I think it was at 1 or 2 life. He had a fort of at least 2 or 3,000 power, so I was going to lose regardless. I went first, I believe. I don't remember. I just knew that I had to win that turn.
Okay.
So, but we're playing best of 1, so when I say I went first, I meant he might have gotten an extra turn if I didn't.
Okay.
We wouldn't have drawn. But I basically attacked with my last Boujack, threw my hand down, and he...
Prayed for the best.
Yeah, he didn't have it, so I won.
Round 3?
Game 3 was Lord Slug.
Nice.
And
what happened in that
was
match?
Terrible. Well, I mean, Boujack is already really slow going at the beginning. You draw once a turn with Boujack, and you like pseudo draw once a turn with like Beto if you play him.
Okay.
But if you're playing against Slug, who it's like,
constant
discard a card, discard a card, draw a whole bunch.
Right.
It was pretty much a steamroll. I even had a good hand against it, and I just could do literally nothing.
Jeez. Round 4?
Round 4 was Janemba.
Okay.
Okay. So the Janemba matchup was really weird because I honestly don't know what the better deck is in this case. We're both slow decks. We both benefit from being slow decks. Like if my opponent has a slow deck, I benefit from it.
Right.
But the main part about Boujack is you get Plunder out and you try to win. And
Okay.
one of the main plays Janemba does is I play a card and remove a card. Like the 4-drop critical Janemba just removes your boss card.
Right. Isn't there a
so-
Boujack card that puts like back 5 cards from your drop or something like that?
So Beto returns up to 5 cards from your drop into your deck that are 1 or 2 drop.
Okay. Did that help during that matchup?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got
Of course.
like 4 or 5 turns in a row. I was playing Betos
Wow.
and shuffling 5 back because once he started super milling me, I held back 2 arrivals just to get the Betos back.
That's insane.
But yeah, it was good for me because I got Boujack Plunderer out on turn 4.
Mm-hmm.
I was at 5 life, so I tapped his board. And even though he had a whole bunch of cards in his hand, he removed most of them. And the only way he could have done the play he wanted to that turn was to awaken Janemba,
Okay.
which untaps 2, which removes 2 more cards from his hand.
Gotcha. That's
So
awesome.
that little step ahead, and that he didn't have a yellow card to drop for Nimbus when I comboed out with cards,
Okay.
and ended up making me win the game.
Awesome.
So finals, which I shouldn't have won, was against Brawley.
Green Brawley?
Yeah, Green Brawley. He
Okay.
did not have a good start. I could tell because he didn't have a good poker face. He was very pained in the first few turns.
Okay. Yes.
He ended up thinking that Goku did what Agent of Destruction did. When it comes into play, you tap something, and then I would have a way to keep it tapped.
Wow. Yeah.
So he did an FTK, like he held back the FTK, and I won because
Okay. Gotta read your cards, guys.
of it. Yeah. And yeah,
And then you end up being what record again?
4-1.
4-1, getting
Yeah,
third place, right?
4-1 getting third place.
That's awesome. Well, cool, man. I'm sure people out there are excited to see, well, especially with this outfit, people are probably talking about you and they want to see the profile. So let's go ahead.
I hope good things.
Let's go ahead with that. And
but,
let's start
yeah.
with your leader, actually.
So leader is Boujack, obviously. Actually, my normal Boujack isn't foil, and apparently my first round opponent said that he couldn't have that, so he gave me a foil one.
Shout outs to Rob. He gave him the
Yeah.
full Boujack.
So,
Awesome.
Boujack, if you don't know, once per turn when you play a Boujack Brigade card, you draw a card and he gets plus 5,000 power. If you combo with 2 Boujack cards during your turn from your field, you can KO a rested card,
Okay.
regardless of what it is.
Gotcha.
Besides barrier.
Right.
But and then when you're at 4 life, you awaken him.
You just flip it over.
You just awaken
Nothing
him.
else.
No drawing, no untap, no anything.
Right.
So this Boujack is basically the same, except he doesn't get the 5k when you play a Boujack Brigade.
Okay.
And you can combo with rested Boujack Brigade members, which is really important. That's what I did in a lot of games where I play one last card and I just combo my hand and my field.
Okay.
Um,
Awesome. So you got to have those people on field and then be able
yeah.
to pop up.
Well,
always.
that's the only thing they're good at.
Right.
And yeah, the same thing. If you go during your turn and combo with 2 Boujack Brigades from your field, you can get a rested card and KO it.
All right. Awesome. Let's go ahead with the
And it's once per turn.
Once per
it
turn,
negates
right.
its duration for the turn or whatever.
Okay, gotcha.
So I played 3 Betos, 4 Boujans.
Okay, so getting the Pirate Brigade out.
Yeah, I'll just do the first 4. So 3 Betos, 4 Boujans, 4 Zaganyas, and 4 Gokuas.
Got it.
What they normally do, Zaganya searches for one of these 2,
Okay.
one of the 1-drops, and puts it into play. She can discard herself to make a Boujack battle card have critical.
Okay.
So the 3-drop or the 6-drop.
Okay.
And I believe that's it. Oh yeah, and you can only have 1.
Okay, sure.
in
One to
play.
play. Gotcha.
Beto, you
Still
can
very
only,
strong.
You can only have 1. When you play him, you look at the top 5 for a Boujack Brigade and add it to your hand.
Okay.
And you can pitch him to get 5 1 or 2 drops from your drop into your deck, which is one of the reasons it was good against Janemba.
I honestly think like after this format, like this deck is going to be good, especially with expansion cards. And then Janemba's probably going to come back into play because Super Shenron's going to be gone. So.
I mean, I think Janemba gets super good with the expansions.
Yeah.
And I think this deck gets better with the Boujack cards, but
Yeah,
I think
it
they
should.
really need a new leader. Like if they give Boujack the Janemba treatment and give him a promo leader, I think this deck would be really good.
That would be awesome.
I honestly didn't think I'd go anywhere. I really just did this for the memes. So
worked?
Boujin, you can only have one. When
Okay.
you play him, you get a 2-drop or less into play.
Okay.
And when you combo with him on the battlefield, you rest enemy battle card.
Okay.
Which is really important, especially if your opponent either doesn't know what it does or isn't thinking about it.
Right. Great
Where,
against like blockers or like anything
like
annoying.
attacking with their leader first while they have 1 or 2 battle cards, and then just comboing with Boujin, even if I'm taking the life,
Right.
just comboing with Boujin and resting one of their attackers is really huge.
Awesome.
Gokua, for some reason, Gokua is special
Goku's
because
amazing.
he doesn't have the you can only have one of this card out.
Right.
I don't know if they forgot that. I don't think they did because they haven't errated it to my knowledge.
Sure.
When he comes into play, he's super important.
Yes.
You choose a rested battle card your opponent controls, and until the end of their next turn, it doesn't untap.
Right. Right.
And then another important one, you can pay 1 and pitch this to play a 3-drop Boujack.
Okay. How important was that card today?
Extremely.
Probably one of your
it was
key cards.
Well, it was extremely important against Kid Coup because they just play 30,000s every
30Ks,
turn.
yeah, and rest of them.
And I can't deal with that with this
Right.
deck.
Yeah.
Like I have to Merciless Farewell it or like pitch 2 of my Bojacks with Bojack's effect.
Okay.
And I couldn't kill Kid Goku for a while, so even if I did that, they just bring it back next turn with this once per turn get a
Sure. Okay.
battle card.
Right.
So,
it'll help on
yeah,
the big
like
bombs.
resting the Deborahs, resting the Gokus
Okay.
is super important.
Awesome.
So I run 4 of each of the 3-drop Bojacks
Okay.
because you have to, in my opinion. Some people might play like 3 and 4 or 3 and 3, which
Okay.
is fine. I just always wanted to see 3-drop Bojack.
Consistency.
I don't know if I'm going to continue playing this deck, which I might because it has been fun. I don't know how many of these I take out for the negate.
Okay.
I think I might just take out 1 of each and run 2 negates, or maybe 3.
Sure. Okay.
I
Depending on the
don't know
format.
which- yeah.
There's a lot of aggro.
But so regular Bojack, when he comes into play, you can pitch a card to get Arrival of the Space Pirates back, which
Okay.
we'll go over in a second, which is actually super important.
Is it a 19K beater too, which is pretty strong.
Also, if he would die, you can pitch something instead, which
Yes.
is
Help
also super
survive.
important because it's how I dodged Kami, because of how I've heard it ruled, and that's what I was told.
Right.
Where if I have 4 things in play and they Kami and they blow up Kami,
Right.
I can respond with his effect,
Okay.
and then Kami activates, Bojack activates, and Bojack stays. And
Right.
Everything else
There's an
dies.
auto go impending.
So Bojack Agent of Destruction, also run 4. When he comes into play, you rest anything, including Barrier, on your opponent's field.
Great card.
Super great ability.
Yes.
Like, I barely used the first ability.
Okay.
Second ability, if
Right.
this card is rested, pay 2 to prevent your opponent from untapping their leader until the end of their next turn.
Okay. That's awesome.
It's the only reason I feel I won against Janemba.
Sure. They don't
Because
get that
I
extra
kept
mill.
Janemba
Yeah.
tapped down for, I think, 3 turns.
Wow.
And that is huge because he didn't get to draw and he didn't get to mill.
That's awesome. Yeah. Super strong effect. It's really good against leaders that kind of untap. So like Brawl
So,
even.
the only reason this deck wins is the 8-drop Bojack. 8-drop Bojack, EX evolves onto a 3-drop Bojack for 1 and 3 yellow.
How often were you able to get in these games? 5 games.
Every game?
Wow.
I got him at least once every game.
Okay.
So when he comes into play, if you have 5 or more life, you rest everything your opponent has.
Okay.
Can be super good for if you're at 5 life and you have a turn that you want to get an advantage on life. you can prevent your opponent from having like Wace's Coercion or any sort of negates,
Okay.
or Sensu Bean or anything like that.
Right.
But it's also very important for his next ability, Auto. Whenever your opponent, what's the term? Oh, it just changes from rested to active mode. I
Yeah,
always say
that's
untap because I play Magic. So when anything is going from rested to active,
Right.
he puts a stack on his auto. His auto is your opponent must choose one card from their hand and remove it. So when he comes into play, you rest their battle cards, you rest their energy, you rest their leader,
Right.
and then they untap all of his for each one they untap, his auto goes on the stack or whatever you call it. They go to draw because checkpoints aren't checked between charge phase and draw phase.
Right.
And then the auto goes through. So after they draw, they pitch however much they untapped, which in many cases is their hand.
Right. Yeah.
So
They-
it's
they
generally
lose
you try
that
to play
hand.
this turn 4. If you play it turn 4, your opponent might not have a hand next turn.
Right. That's
Or in
awesome.
the case of Janemba, they have a big hand and then they lose a whole bunch of it, have to awaken their leader to untap 2 more,
Sure.
and warp 2 more cards from their hand.
Awesome.
So it's really good against Super Shenron effects, like decks, which doesn't matter in June anymore. But,
Right.
Anything that untaps a lot of blue cards, Sensu Bean, Voices Coercion, a
Yeah.
whole bunch of things, will make your
Yellow
opponent remove cards from their hand. He also can, once per turn, sack a Boujack Brigade to give him dual attack.
Okay. So super fair.
Yeah.
Is he a double striker?
He is not.
Okay. But
None
still
of the cards in
25K.
this deck have double strike.
Okay.
So
Did you feel like maybe you wanted to add anything, or we got some spice?
So, this is pretty normal in my opinion. I have 2 Ox King Dad at heart.
Okay.
Never saw him, never played him, but he is super important. If I saw him against Brawly, I would say that I deserved the win against Brawly.
Sure.
Because
You gotta protect those pieces.
One of the reasons I was stumbling a little against Brawly
Okay.
was I had the whole board. And he just Brawly autoed, killed, Brawly auto killed, Brawly auto killed.
pitch
so he
for-
has the 6 drop, and I have nothing.
Right.
And then super combos,
Okay. Yep.
which is Sparking 5 draw card. She's a Boujack Brigade.
Right.
so
Which you
can
can get
draw her
sparking
Veto.
pretty good because you pitch your own cards and stuff
Yeah.
to draw. So.
Okay.
Okay.
And other battle cards, since it is a best of 1, I
Gotta have some
put
tech.
2 tech cards in.
Nice. Okay.
Fu
So you got one of
and
each.
Bardock.
Your main targets for these?
So main target for Bardock is the red Frieza deck.
Okay.
Red Frieza and
The 6 drops, 7 drops.
Red Frieza and Brawly.
Brawly. Yep.
I guess it also kind of works against Gogeta ramp, but I never saw it and I wasn't really thinking about it. I was mainly
Right.
thinking of Brawly and Frieza.
Okay.
I don't know if Frieza is meta, but I saw it enough
Yeah,
that
definitely
I was
Rogue.
concerned about it.
It'll probably be showing up in next.
Fu
format.
is the same reason most people add Fu.
Sure.
He's just an extra attacker. I'm sorry. No Boujack Brigade has double strike. This is the only card in my deck with double strike.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
it's to just get a card, get a double strike, and maybe get rid of something.
Okay.
I never actually played him. I think I saw him once, but I never got the opportunity to use him.
Sure.
I used Brawly a few times, mostly as an attacker, once to remove the 6-drop Brawly, and he didn't have the ultimate.
Awesome. Nice.
Extra cards.
Sure.
I think most of these are pretty common.
All right.
So for Arrival of the Space Pirates, I believe 4 is the magic and only number to run.
Mm-hmm.
You always want this turn 1.
Sure.
One of the games, I don't remember if it was the first game or against Kid Coup, I did not have turn 1 Arrival, and it put me so far back compared to everything else.
What do you usually search for?
So, this gets any 2-drop or less Boujack Brigade and puts it in rest mode.
Okay.
So
So
the
this
best
will
one-
start the chain, right?
Yeah, best thing to get is Zagania.
Sure.
Zagania's Enter gets you either Bujin or Beto.
Okay.
So it depends on your hand which one you choose.
Okay,
If you
right.
don't have Gokua, you get Beto.
Sure.
If you do have Gokua, you get Bujin.
Okay.
Because if you don't, you just filter with Beto, draw an extra card off of Boujack, get hopefully a Boujack Brigade card off of Beto's effect. I have never whiffed Beto's effect. I'm
Always
sure
have.
there is an opportunity where somebody has, like just all extra cards or something.
Right,
but, yeah, and for Bujin, if you play Bujin while you have Goku out, your turn 1 gets you these 3 in play turn 1. So you
Awesome.
could turn 2, pitch this for Boujack, or you could just... You have a big board to play around with.
Right.
So yeah, it's a super important card. It was important to get it back with Boujack a few times. Pitching a card from your hand to get it back to your hand.
Gotcha.
And then
You got a couple
2
more.
Merciless for Wells.
Okay.
Uh,
What do you think about this card?
I actually don't like it.
Yeah?
I've had it in my hand 3 times today, and every time I've had it, I immediately charged it.
Okay.
Because although the deck funnels around and plays a whole bunch of cards every turn, you don't generally have a lot of cards in your hand.
Right.
So ditching 3 cards to kill anything is great, but I generally don't have that resource.
Right.
I mean, it's super dead against Lord Slug.
Yeah.
It forces the Brawly Chain, but at the same time, you're pitching 3 cards to force the Brawly Chain, where they're generally benefiting from that anyway.
Right.
And if I wanted to kill one single thing, I would rather pitch the 2 cards with Boujack, because I've benefited from those cards already.
Okay.
So if there are any cards I would take out, I might take these out. I might
Maybe like
run
a
one-
sideboard or something for a best of 3.
Yeah, in best of 3, I might mainboard it.
Okay.
But best of 1,
I think it's good against like Victory Strike.
yeah.
'Cause
No.
'cause it's,
Can you target Victory Strike with this?
I believe so, because it's activate battle. So this is during the
Does
combo
Victory
phase.
Strike doesn't have barrier? I've never played against it.
Victory Strike, I don't believe.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
If he doesn't have barrier, yes, it would be good.
Yeah.
And I probably would always run at least 1, but I don't like 2.
Okay, fair enough.
Nimbus, super important card.
Yep.
I don't think I really benefited from its second effect, but there
Okay.
are so many decks where you benefit from it, especially even when Shenron Storm leaves.
Right.
You always want some number of cards of this in
depending
yellow.
depending on the format, some decks that go really wide. They're still out there.
4 time magic.
Okay.
So, I had such an awkward, fun time with time magic against Kid Goku.
Sure.
So one of the turns I was tapped out, and he made a big board, and my hand was 3 time magics with sparking,
Wow.
and I just replaced them.
Yeah.
Instead of letting him double strike or crit or anything, and it's just, I really like the card.
Would you cut it down?
I don't
maybe?
think so.
Okay.
I like life burning negates.
Sure. Okay.
Even After Image, which isn't a negate, is still really good.
Right. Yeah. Being able to take
and-
your life.
So it's basically just a negate,
Okay.
in my eyes, with a sometimes benefit of using the ability where you tap something down.
Sure.
Super good against the 6 and 8 drop Gogeta Red.
Okay. Yep.
Super good against anything with dual attack.
Yes.
Goku Oob. I never saw that.
Okay,
But
right.
it's a really good card against Goku Oob because you only lose. I guess you still lose 2 life, but you at least get a life to your hand instead of pitching 2 from your hand and pitching 2 from your life.
Sure. Yeah.
And does he
Gogeta
have
Rat.
energy too?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So you save an energy too.
Right.
2 Crusher Balls.
Okay.
Only came into play once.
Who'd you use against?
I don't remember. It was just in a turn where they were going to play a whole bunch of cards and potentially kill me, and the last one I Crusher Balled instead of letting it attack.
Okay. Nice.
It's good to set up a lot of plays. It's good early plays to tap down something generically good, like a 3 or
Right.
4 drop, and
Yeah.
then next turn Gokua to make sure it doesn't untap again.
Okay. Yeah.
And then 1 minus Killy Zone.
Okay.
It's a best of 1 format, and
Sure.
I need my Boujack to enter.
Yeah. It can be cold bloodlust.
I didn't ever want to see what's
Bloodlust.
Bloodlust. Yeah,
Yeah,
Cold
right.
Bloodlust. I never wanted to see Cold Bloodlust. I don't care if only Frieza runs it.
Right.
I could never see Cold Bloodlust. Also, it's
That shut it down.
it's good against green.
Preemptive strike.
Preemptive strike.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Very good card.
Preemptive strike gets rid of 3-drop Boujack, which generally kills me.
Yeah. You'll be tapped out and then they could go.
So
in.
yeah.
Awesome.
main ways you play the deck is you play the Zagania chain, you try to get Boujack, and you try to get this out turn 4. I would not recommend taking this to a tournament. It is a fun deck to play at locals.
It's a great best of one.
Yeah,
One too, because a lot of people don't expect it.
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's a pretty good best of one.
Right.
And I was talking to somebody at the beginning. We had a game for fun, and I ended up winning, in my opinion, because he didn't play against Boujack before.
Okay,
And
right.
the best matchup for a Boujack deck is people who don't know what Boujack does, because
That's so true for a lot of cases.
if you can land the 8-drop Boujack when your opponent doesn't know what it does,
Right.
you probably win.
Yeah.
If your opponent knows what the 8-drop Boujack does, they are constantly pinging down your life to get you under 5. And Boujack is still good playing at turn 4 at 4 or less life, but it's crippling turn 5 or
Right.
with 5 life.
Well, I definitely think you definitely deserve a little more credit for piloting, getting 4-1.
I'm
There's
just
some good
glad
people
that
here.
living the meme got
Living
me
the meme
something.
dream, and I definitely think this deck is going to be a little better actually with this expansion set. So I hope you continue to
I
play
think
this.
so too. And I don't know if the matchups get better with the bannings, because I mean,
It should slow down the format a little bit,
Yeah.
at least an extra turn or so.
like
so you can
I
help
think
build.
Boujack might be a toss-up against Super Shenron if you go first, and if you get your plays, you can do okay against Super Shenron, because once you get out the Plunderer, all of their abilities work their hand.
Right, yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you, Alden, again, and congrats to your 3rd place victory.
Yep,
And
thank you.
We'll see you guys next time.